everyone. Like I said, I'm really excited. I'm Proto. I'm CEO at Virtual Reality Marketing. And I want to take a minute to welcome everyone who's with us at the pool deck. And all of those people who are watching us on YouTube, we are being streamed live on AWE Live as well. And so, for starters, a few words about us. For several years now, we've been on this mission to connect enterprises with leading XR and Metaverse creators. And today, virtualrealitymarketing.com is the largest showcase of immersive companies. We have more than 3,200 creators listed on our site and 600 AR and VR case studies across all business verticals. And our group on LinkedIn, Reality Innovators Network, is the largest online community of AR and VR professionals. Our goal is really to be a guide to the business metaverse. And we like to say that our mission is to then facilitate business in that order. And one of the things we get asked a lot is if you need help finding the right, AR, VR, metaverse partner can help. We like to joke and say we know everyone. And otherwise, if you want to share news with our audience and get exposure with the whole XR community. Before we start, I also want to take a minute to thank Michelle and Tracy, our red cowboy hats. We've got Carlos, our videographer, and all our team who's making sure that everything is running smoothly for everyone today. I also want to thank the team of M2 Studios. They are the company who created this beautiful environment that we're in. So thanks for them to having us in this space. And today we have really special event planned for you. It's all about music in the metaverse. And what we want to do is we want to talk about it, but we also want to enjoy it. So I think with music is that music and immersive technology have in common the fact that probably some of the best mediums drive emotion. So they are really a great match. And by the way, if you ask some of the best, AR and VR creators, they'll tell you that one of the best ways to get people really immersed in 3D environment like this is through 3D audio. It's not just about the graphics. So for instance, here, when you're in old space, when you talk to someone, you see that depending on how far you are from them, you can hear them close or hear them far, and it's a big part of the immersion as well. And so right now, it's a booming time for music in the metaverse. There's all kinds of experiments, big and small, going on. Ariana Grande or Travis Scott. And so there's a lot of experimentation right now with NFTs, like artists like John Legend or Snoop Dogg are very active on this. And so today I'm really excited to have DJ Celeste from DreamlandXR. She's going to be our guide to the world of music. And you really, really want to stick around for after hours this time, because at the end of the panel and the Q&A, she's going to be turning this pool deck into a dance floor. So let's give her a warm welcome. And Sophia, I'll let you take it from here.
Awesome. I'm totally excited to have you here, Celeste. So we have lots of cool discussions we host here, and captivating and engaging than entertainment, obviously. So this will definitely be a fun discussion for all of us, and even funner performance. So we're looking forward to that, Celeste. Maybe you can just do a brief introduction of yourself and DreamlandXR and what you guys do.
Yeah, okay. Hi, everybody. I'm so happy that you could all come. I'm really honored to be here. I have been working the last 3.5, 4 years in the immersive tech world. My company is called Boutique Electronic Music, and the company that I'm working for full time is called DreamlandXR, who are also creating meta cities. And I am an immersive experience designer and event producer in real life, also in virtual reality. I've worked as a music and sound director. I have a pretty extensive as a composer and a degree in sound engineering. So I'm a little all over the place here, but I'm basically just a music fanatic. And I'm also would kind of call myself a futurist. And I have an absolute reverence for the people that are creating what I like to call next level tools for creation for music and art. And I'm just a firm believer in how these tools, as Terry was saying, can help create their emotion and new, amazing new experiences for us to all enjoy. And yeah, so my name is Celeste Lear. My last name is Lear, Lear. I do go by DJ Celeste. And again, really happy to be here today.
Awesome. Well, opens up a new realm of opportunities for performers in these new immersive mediums, because it allows for people to engage with events and audiences from all over the world. So what are some of the ways that you can monetize these opportunities as a performer?
Okay, yeah. So I'm sure a lot of us are here on the monetization topic, and that is important. We have to blend, what we're doing here in the metaverse with ways that we can create commerce. And I know a lot of us, if you are here as a musician or in the creative industries, looking for ways to make more money is, of course, increasingly important. Let's see, for monetization, there's so many different new avenues that we're seeing opening up, from licensing through streaming and royalties on different platforms. Lawsuit and box, the $200 million lawsuit for having to pay money for streaming royalties. So that's changing the kind of like the music business landscape. NFTs are not especially my expertise, but of course, being able to have this digital watermark on art and now music, being able to have it in the metaverse and be able to sell it is an exciting new avenue. I also, since I do this, I DJ in VR. I've been doing this for the last couple years, and on occasion I have been able to make money. I've actually done some corporate events. There's a video that's going to be playing in the background, and by the way, what you're looking at is I video document the majority of the work and the job gigs that I do here in the metaverse, and with the help of Carlos Austin, who is our fabulous drone avatar right here. So Carlos and his team helped me video document a lot of what you're seeing here, clips from events that I've produced and performed in and worked with teams, many here in alt space. I've worked in Sansar. I've worked and kind of getting my feet wet with Meta a little bit. I've also worked in Second Life, which is very old school. But on a couple of these jobs, I've actually been able to make money. And it's either through people paying me for my time as a DJ. It's also through, I had a corporate event where I got paid to produce. It was a private event, but we produced a immersive experience concert for a corporation for their members to come in to alt space. And we did a custom environment that was a race course. And it was a really, it was one of the first events that I've done that I've gotten paid pretty well for. And I just kept saying, oh, this is just incredible, a way to create and to make money. If I can keep this going, it would just be such a treat. So yeah, so virtual gig opportunities like avatar DJs can also be done multiple times per day from your home. So it can making $50, $100, $200 per pop, that can actually turn into fairly substantial income if you really hustle. And also if you have a Twitch stream, you can have subscriptions, money through that. I would also say that concerts in the metaverse are going to be a good form for artists and companies to monetize in the future. I guess we're seeing that with artists like Post Malone, Ariana Grande, Travis Scott. These are big names. Of course, they have money and backing them, but I think that smaller artists or medium-sized independent artists are going to start getting in on the game here. And the gamification of events in the metaverse is going to be also opening up some really fun and exciting ways for both production teams to make money, the people that are creating the games, and also the musicians. So that's just a few of the ways. I'm happy to go into each one a little bit more if you want to delve in.
Yeah, definitely. And I wanted to remind the audience to use your hand raise option that you'll see in your tools. If you have questions, we'll get to them in about 10 minutes or so. Okay. So I did want to touch on gamification. And then, well, there's a couple of things, because I think gamification comes into play with both the monetization opportunities as well as community, strictly gamification. Let's talk about the importance of building community, and how do you envision building that community through like entertainment event and music and VR, like, and why is building community so important specifically through these mediums?
I will say the first time I ever came into the metaverse or had a VR experience, it was actually on Second Life. And coming in, didn't know anyone, and I didn't know what was happening, and I felt a little bit alone. I felt isolated. It felt very strange to me, like a strange new world, like I'm wandering as a stranger in a strange land. And when I was in those first couple hours of exploring around and meeting people, it was just really odd. And it felt strange that I was doing something like this, because I'd say I'm kind of a person that loves nature and the natural world, but I have this curiosity about technology. And I'm wandering through this program, and I didn't know anyone. I was trying to meet people. I didn't know if they were bots. I didn't know what was going on. And so I've noticed, like in my years on different platforms, meeting people, being open and upfront, finding out who they are, working to build community, going to people's events that they're throwing here repeatedly. I have been very honored to be a part of the BRC VR crew who hosted and built the digital twin experience of Burning Man. There's a couple different platforms that I hosted, but the one here in Office Space was just phenomenal. It had so much heart and soul, and an incredible team pulling it together. Just artists that were just bringing in some really next level, fun, experimental, interactive world building for us all to enjoy. And that helped build a community that I never really thought could happen from the comfort of my own home, which we all admit, like, we're on Zoom all day. We are on the phone, especially during the pandemic. It was such an incredible bridge to be able to have this. I know Comp gave a presentation on how VR changed her life and saved her life. And I would say it's helped me in ways that have been pretty incredible. So the community building is of the utmost importance. I'm also kind of a member of the rave community, which I don't know if has anyone here ever been to a rave or been a part of that community? Is anyone a DJ for parties?
So wait, quick question, Celeste. When you say rave, you
rave, R-A-V, like like electronic music, underground kind of culture. Yeah. So the rave community, a lot of people would say it's also a very tight-knit group of people who love electronic music, and we love wild fashion, and we you actually get a little bit of this here in certain scenes. I've seen them on AltSpace and Samsar, and that's also a great way to build community. I'm a member of the Gatherverse. What's going on in the metaverse and how to bring in more humanity and sustainability. The VRARA, which Sophia is a part of, is also an incredible collective and community, and definitely worth going to their website and checking out, getting involved with their amazing events.
Yeah, I mean, and from like a business perspective, building community is also important because it's going to have a reason for people to come back over and over again into the space, into the environments and events. And so, you know, we talk about all the time how, you know, VR alone in itself is a siloed experience, but a lot of people, the purpose going into these mediums is for the socialization aspect of it. And so the more that you can drive that, the more success you'll have in your endeavors when, you know, building out these environments and these events and immersive. And so let's get back to the gamification aspect of this. Like, how does that come into play when helping to grow a community and some of the monetization efforts for these types of events?
Yeah, so the gamification I think is really unique. I think a lot of it comes down to the world builders or the game designers and how interactive we can make these experiences. Because I know from experience working with my production team, Cause and Christy are some of our partners, and they have been so much fun to work with because they're super creative, and we all kind of brainstorm and come up with ways to make the experience interactive so people can participate together. So we have like toys that you can pick up, or you could create an obstacle route that you have to run together while listening to music. So gamification of a concert experience, I think we're going to start to see more of that. And it can be made very, very fun, and it can be like a very bonding experience. In the future. Now, keep in mind, like, so much of this is new, and the monetization is not exactly happening yet because we're in these preliminary stages of what's going on and how we're going to make money in the future. It's mostly, I've seen for these kind of more experimental platforms like AltSpace, it's going to be donation based for now. I think over the next year or two, we're going to start to see different systems being put in place where you're actually quite required to pay to you can enter a world or event. I think we're going to start seeing more and more, and that's only fair. I think that we're just going to have to brace ourselves to be able to pony up a little bit of money for all the hard work that's going into these events and the teams, and make sure that we're supporting them financially. There's also going to be advertising, and we're going to see companies that want to brand experiences. So I think that that's also going to be a big part of what we're seeing is partnerships and strategic alliances with companies that are going to want to advertise inside your worlds and experiences. And that's going to be another source of income for musicians and production teams.
Yeah, no, awesome. So this is a question I ask myself and other people in the industry all the time, because I think, you know, now that we're come back into more live events, but still have a strong, you know, virtual events and virtual environment presence and kind of pushing through still into this industry. You know, we're not going to go back to like full in real life events the way that we knew them before. And so there's a lot of talk about what this blended experience might look like and this hybrid experience might look like. So in your mind, look like in the entertainment sector?
Okay, Sophia, you cut out a little bit, but I think I understood what you just said here. And yeah, this is something that's so pertinent and so exciting, the hybrid experience. But I actually want to say something. So like, firstly, this is so important to start. There will never, in my opinion, okay, there will never be anything better than the simplicity of listening to an unplugged acoustic performance by an artist, maybe around a campfire or something. You know, that feeling that it's just this pure acoustic music. in an environment with a free acoustics. When zombie,
you know what? It's funny you say that, Celeste, because it feels like right now the in-person is becoming luxury experience, like what you're describing.
It is, and here's the thing I'll say. You guys, please go out, experience live music, support live arts. But there's also going to be, like what I was saying was, like, when the zombie apocalypse comes and there's no electricity and there's no music, all we're going to have is the roots of music, the acoustic music. So that's something that's so special. Support it. I don't think Metaverse will ever take over live performance, and it should not take over live concerts and performances. But what I think it's going to, I'm sure it's going to do, is offer more options for people who don't particularly want to travel or can't travel, can't afford to travel. Maybe people are handicapped at home. They're going to be able to put on a set or log into their computer and see a hybrid performance of, say, a concert that's happening at Madison Square Garden. So say Madison Square Garden builds a digital twin experience of their arena in the future, where people can come and have a novel experience as avatars. Say the platform you're on, you log in, you come in, you get perks. If you're an avatar, you get to fly around the Coliseum. You get to have things that only a unique immersive VR experience like this can offer. Digital twins is a term I think you're going to be hearing more and more, and that is going to also help to bridge the real life with a virtual entertainment space. I also want to touch on holograms. So holograms and holoportation technology is also going to come into play, and we're seeing it little by little. So my team at DreamlandXR actually is producing a couple events here on the AltSpace platform. We're using holoportation technology. So we have these special cameras.
Celeste, yes. Maybe I'll interrupt to ask a question.
Sure.
Can you please describe what is holoportation technology for those of us who are not super technical?
Okay, well, here's the thing. I am not as technical as I wish that I was, but holoportation technology is basically, in this is my own words, okay, you guys. It's a camera technology that is capturing, it's like a maybe volumetric capture of a person or an object that is aimed in on, and it's able to turn it into like a Princess Leia, like you all know, help me Obi-Wan, my only hope. So what we, right, we help me Obi-Wan. It's the technology to turn a person into a three-dimensional image in real time and project it and put it somewhere. My company, DreamlandXR, is also partners with Proto hologram. And this is technology that you're also going to start seeing more and more. But let's start going back to the holoportation. So this is the technology we're using through the month of August and September. It also ties into the digital twin experience. So we have a physical building in Las Vegas called Starbase Las Vegas, and which they have concerts and shows, and it's a tech center. They have all kinds of the newest technology. They're just a hub for tech and arts and culture in Las Vegas. Well, the team built a digital twin of their building. It's a 3D model that they've inserted here in AltSpace called StarbaseXR. And what we are doing is focusing on shows in real life. They're called hybrid shows. So we have an artist that's performing on a stage in real life, and we have the holoportation camera aimed in on them, and we actually put them here in AltSpace real time as a performance. So the next one we're doing next Wednesday, the 21st, at I believe it's 7 p.m. Pacific time, and we are going to have acoustic artists. So this is called Meta Acoustic, and we have 4 artists, one from the Philippines, one from Mexico. So we have this diverse array of acoustic musicians that we're bringing in as holograms here in AltSpace.
So hold on, let me make sure I understand properly. What you're saying is, on one hand, you've got the live performance in the live space with the real artist on the stage, the audience in Vegas. And on the other end, you've got people who are able to join in old space. Old space, they're in basically a copy of the live environment in Vegas, and they see this layer hologram of the artist. That's, am I right? It's a good description.
It's incredible technology, and it's challenging to use. Believe me, we've had a fair share of challenges using this.
Sure.
And a big shout out to Microsoft also and the AltSpace team for helping us with this.
Awesome. Well, let's get to some questions from. Oh, go ahead. No, go ahead, Celeste. Did you have anything else?
So again, just to delve in a little further and help clarify. So again, this is called a digital twin hybrid experience. It's what our team is producing with the holoportation technology. Is very new and it's very experimental. But I think we're going to start seeing more of this, and it's going to help to bridge between the physical real life experience and how we can branch out and reach more people as artists, musicians, maybe public speaker performers here in the metaverse. And I also think that this technology we're going to be seeing in the future for whole bands that are performing, artists, DJs, hologram and holoportation technology. One of the videos, actually, let me hit play again for the first video here and see if I can scroll up and find there's a section with Diplo. Bear with me here, guys. Oops, I can't scroll ahead for some reason. Okay, well, in this video, around the end of this, there is a capture of Diplo performing here in AltSpace during Burning Man of 2020 using a HoloLens. It was a very revolutionary performance in certain respects. And so the HoloLens is another piece of technology that we are going to be seeing used more, and that's going to gradually be released to the public at a price point. I think it's going to be affordable. I'm not sure when. But so the HoloLens is another piece of technology too. Oh, someone just got sick. I'm so sorry. These cocktails are really strong. You guys, be careful.
Yeah, I know. It's our fault.
Okay, here's a great example of very creative world building and MRE design. It's one of the fake cocktails. If you pick up the wrong one, it's going to make you throw up, make your appetite.
But the timing was perfect because it was when you asked for the question. So yeah,
that's great.
So classic. This is why we love our world builders in here. I think that's one of the things that bridges us together is how fun and funny some of the creativity is in here, right? And playful.
So I see two hand raisers here. I have Robier and John Dow. Not sure. John Dow, there you go.
Let's answer some questions.
Okay. Actually, I don't have a question. I have more of a comment. Sure. There is holoportation already available here in AltSpace that people can see. And in fact, almost every Wednesday night, there's Caitlin Christine, who does a live acoustic set at 9 p.m. Eastern time. She's absolutely wonderful. She comes in as a 3D hologram. The technology for the screen was invented by Dara, and the camera rig was set up by her brother, who's actually figured out how to and has it totally wired in the real world for doing the technology. So anyone that wants to see an example should check it out tonight.
Nice. Okay, that power siblings.
Thanks for sharing. So it sounds super interesting.
I'm a little out of the loop because we've got so many other projects going on right now. I've been a little out of the loop with the events here in AltSpace, so forgive me. But yeah, everyone should definitely check that out tonight. It's a really fun new way to experience live music.
We have a D. John.
Awesome. Okay, we have another question.
Listen, I'm first time in this
space or platform.
Metaverse environment.
Rus. Okay, listen. This is very how say. I need consultation because this is very nice, and I want to understand how this work. And I have many questions, but I have not answers.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Catch up with me afterwards.
Who is?
Catch up with me afterwards, and I can help you with any
Yeah.
other questions you might have.
Many of the people here will help you get oriented to make sure that you know how to move around and use the interface.
Yes,
Are there any
and
music-related questions?
And not music. I have a question from for VR and AR. Virtuality, reality, and AR.
I'm having a hard time
AR,
understanding.
you mean augmented reality?
Oh, AR.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, AR. And I want to learning, but I have not.
Okay, we have a Freeman miter.
Yeah. Okay. And that's all very, very interesting. And I just would like to ask how have such a holographic appearance as a band? I mean, and do you think the timeline until bands can afford technique, we stream by our mobile phones, whatever, but this is of course not holographic. Do you think how long it will take that it will be an affordable way to appear without Las Vegas hotel chain in the background, just to be in one place somewhere in the metaverse and deliver your music on this holographic base?
Yeah, that's a great question. For anyone that didn't hear that, is your name Freedom Fighter? Is that right? He was asking.
Reminder, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, he was. I believe the question was, what might possibilities be like to have hologram or holoportation technology for an entire band, and what the timeline might look like before we see something like that on the market, and the how affordable it could be. That is something I'm not exactly sure of. I know that the technology we're currently working with right now are limited to a small window. So the way it works is that we can only put one person at a time, so one acoustic musician. So for a full band, it's very hard to say. I have no idea when technology like that could actually come into play.
Well, I can help you there if you want. There's one good example of a full band. So it's not in the metaverse. It's more it's kind of the opposite, because you can mix and right now there's the ABBA Voyage tour where you get to see the avatars, and it's the whole ABBA crew. They have like virtual characters on stage, which are digital representations of themselves. So the whole band. And it's the four of them, but they are appearing as they were looking in the 70s. So it's the real ABBA people, but you don't see how they look right now. You see the virtual version of themselves on stage, and you can see that. I don't know. I'm not sure where, but they've been touring in all of the big places, so I'm sure at some point they will show up in Vegas. And that's to answer your question on cost. The visual effects are being done by ILM, which is the company our special effects. So I don't know exactly the price point. The short answer is not cheap. So it's possible. It exists right now. You can see it with a band. You can see it with digital characters in the real world. But yeah, it's very expensive. I mean, if you want to get really photorealistic, it's very expensive at the moment.
Thank you.
Really quick, also, I just want to explain what some of you are seeing on the screen right now. I wanted to highlight this particular video, and also thank you again to Carlos Austin, because he's helped me video document and photo document a lot of these experiences. So this, oh my goodness, it stopped streaming. Let me try to figure out what's going on. Try that again. Try to reconnect. So there was a video that was just playing that was demonstrating creating a live concert experience using immersive technology, specifically virtual reality. And they gave, this company was called WaveXR. Now, WaveXR changed business models, and the platform that they had unfortunately went out of business, but the tools that they gave artists to create their own custom concerts were out of this world. It was so well done. I think we're getting it up and running again. So you see this, the technology was that a novice like myself could come in and build a world and learn from the community how to do this and build a concert experience that was a whole immersive experience that involved moving the objects, like tunnels that you could create to make it look like you are floating through space, for instance. So a lot of the creators in there were using this technology to create these experiences where you felt like you were inside a movie or felt like you were inside a space with moving images all around you. And it was an incredibly gratifying experience as a musician, because I was basically able to create my dream concerts. So I created an experience called the Disco Space Station, where it was my guests could portal in and we had an adventure through time and space. I had a little DJ booth that I created that I was working on and streaming music and sound in just from my home studio. And I had a VJ. The VJ got his own little mixing board that was also provided by this company called Wave. And he was able to control the visuals while I was handling all the audio. It was an incredible way to work together as a team with a VJ and a DJ. The company Wave, again, they do concerts for big names now, but they're mostly producing 3D concerts that are going to be shown on social media or YouTube. But there was a full immersive VR experience. And again, this is what some of the images look like from inside the space. And I think that's also another way that in the future we're going to be able to create like really fun, amazing, immersive concert experiences people are going to be able to come into and pay for and enjoy.
Super
we have
interesting.
Nick.
Hold on. So just before,
Okay.
just for everyone, Sophia is a message, and you know, it's the joys of being live. Her headset just died, so she vanished from the stage. She was out of battery, so that's why she left us for a minute. Hopefully she can rejoin later. Have another question, Michelle, you were saying?
We have Nick that has another question and has been waiting a while.
Great.
Nick?
Okay, so I think, yes, please, Nick, have your...
Oh, I'm now unmuted. I am plugging in so I don't disappear as well. Let me make sure that that's fully plugged in.
Funny. Battery life will be longer on these headsets soon.
Yeah, or maybe. Let's see. Confirm. Oh, I'm already unmuted. All right. Hi, I'm Nick. I do a lot of work in. I do a lot of work in the live music space as an audio engineer, V1, A1, and production sort of person. I've heard a lot of really interesting things tonight. One being that what you had mentioned about the hollow present thing. I've seen a lot of that. Well, you didn't say hollow presence, but I thought that brought up an interesting thing that I had worked with in the past, which was hollow presence, where they do shoots within. They use, I guess, they have a partnership with WeWork, so they have like studios within which they can team people into different places. Though I I think just just things going on, imagining things like that. I don't know if there's anybody in this room that's necessarily as the connections or sort of thing to do maybe some high cost sort of situation where it would have, to connect artists and have like some sort of, like if it gets to the point where you wanted to produce about that sort of content, I think something along those lines using real estate that's already there and partnerships could really go a long way. That being said, I had a very specific question. How did you get started in actually doing technical production work within this field, this area, AR, VR, that sort of thing?
Yes. So I had my first VR experience I was living in San Francisco using a headset on it. I tried Tilt Brush, which was the program where you create 3D art, very intuitive. And I kind of fell in love with VR after that experience. And I was going to every kind of mixer and event. The event that changed my life, I think, was a community event for immersive tech in San Francisco that was put on by my friend Julian Rays and highlighted some of the more prominent companies that were around in 2018. DreamlandXR is a DJ program that I'm going to be using in a few minutes to demo. I saw the first Tribe performance and Beats, they were there and they were demoing their product. So I saw the power and the potential and got to meet the creators there. And then I just dove in. I got to meet people that were working in Wave, this company, before it went out of business. And I got super inspired and they helped to train me. And it just took a lot of hard work because if you study music, you're probably a Mac person, and I was Mac, so I had to switch to PC and learn how to use a gamer, like get a nice fast gamer computer and get up to speed. So it's a lot of work and tenacity.
And clearly an investment if you're getting a gaming computer and that sort of thing. Yeah. Okay.
And
can I just pass this to
you were talking about, also really quick on that same topic, you were talking about how virtual meetings, and I think we're going to start seeing more augmented reality technology come into place for where you might have not this full headset on your face covering your eyes, but you're also going to have lenses, glasses with lenses, so you can see people kind of portal in as holograms or images of them. So I'm not sure how the technology works exactly, but I know that AR is going to be a huge part of how we're going to be bridging and meeting in the future.
I know the technology is already there with cell phones, where you can almost use those as lenses. It's the glasses that I think we're waiting for in a sense.
Well, you can start with the phones, but it's going to be fantastic when you have, the headsets and then the glasses. But all of this is coming, So, like, look at the cell phones from 93 and 96 and 99, they get slimmer and slimmer and thinner. We're kind of along the same path with VR. And I'm sorry to interrupt, guys, but time is going, and I know we've got a lot of questions, but we can't take any more questions. We really love how engaged you are, but unfortunately, we're out of time. So one thing we can do is please post your questions on our group, Reality Innovators Network. If you're on a PC, you can click the link here. And I believe, Michelle, if you can display the address for everyone, that would be great. And we'll be happy to continue the conversation there. Greg, I know you have a question. But now is the time for after hours, and it's something we've been really waiting for. This month, it's a little different, because Celeste will need a few minutes to set up her DJ booth. But then she will play a set for the whole of the next hour. And if you're with us here in VR, in the space, feel free to mingle or just dance or, whatever. The place is yours. And for all of you who are watching us online, this is goodbye. And I want to thank you and see you next time.